What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kendall. This is episode 32 of Trick Tip Tuesday. It is a absolutely beautiful day outside. I'm really pumped to film this video to skate today. But today, I'm gonna be teaching you how to Fakie Tre. Now, most people probably agree that the Fakie Tre is easier than the standard tray flip. I definitely think that way. I learned to Fakie Tre before attempting a full-on normal tray flip. So if you're really struggling to learn how to do a normal tray flip, I highly recommend learning how to Fakie Tre first and then moving on to a normal tray flip. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the trick tip. The Fakie Tre obviously requires you to know how to ride and pop fakie. If you don't know how to do that yet, I'll put a couple videos up there on the card. Go check those out. I have a handful of other tricks that are fakie and I teach fakie in that. I will do a brief overview right now of what fakie is though. So fakie is where you're rolling in your opposite stance, so in the opposite direction, and you pop with the same foot you normally do. So normally I ride with my left foot forward. So I'd be going in this direction and I pop with my right foot. Fakie is riding backwards, so I'm riding in this direction, but I still pop with the same foot I usually would pop with, so my right foot in this case. So for the Fakie Tre, I sit up my feet like this. My front foot is almost in the middle of the board. It's not all the way in the middle of the board, it's kind of off-centered, and then it's kind of right in between both bolts. And then my back foot is off to the side. I don't always do this, but I like to think about hanging my toes off the board. Even though when I actually pop the trick, I don't actually always do it that way. Usually my foot ends up being about right there. But if you think about hanging your toes over the board, that's really gonna help you get the scoop of the trick. So when both my feet are on the board, it looks something like this, because all your power from this trick comes with your back foot and that back foot scoop. Now, I'm a firm believer that foot position doesn't really matter. I can tell you how I set up my feet, but until you go out and try it yourself, you're not going to know how to do the trick. You have to go and do your own foot position and figure out what works best for you. But what I just showed you is kind of a guideline, kind of a reference point where your feet kind of need to be to learn how to Fakie Tre. So like I just mentioned, the back foot is the most important part to this trick. I like to think about having my foot in this pocket and having my toes slightly hanging off the board. And that mentally prepares me to put all my weight and all the power into the back foot to make the scoop. Your front foot doesn't really do anything. Yes, you do kind of flick to start the kickflip rotation. But as soon as you start the kickflip rotation, your back foot in that scoop is what makes the board actually do the tray flip properly. If you flick too hard with your front foot, it's going to turn into a varial kickflip, and we don't want that. We want more of a circular motion, which is what the tray flip looks like, whereas a varial kickflip is more of a vertical, like a straight, rigid motion. I think of a tray flip as a big scoop, one big movement, where varial kickflips, I tend to think pop and flick. So two different mindsets for two different tricks. So you've got the right foot position, and as soon as you do the scoop, at the same time you scoop, you also do the flick, and that causes the tray flip to work. Because a tray flip is called a tray flip or a 360 flip because the board is doing a 360 this way and a 360 this way, all under your feet, all under your body. And the flip part of this is something that takes days and days, if not weeks or months of trial and error. You're going to work on this flip for a very long time until you get it consistent. It takes practice and it takes time. One of the big tips I would give you is to practice learning it with one foot. So do the scoop. So scoop as hard as you can and don't worry about anything else. Scoop as hard as you can, start to form the tray flip, and just worry about getting your front foot on the board. Just worry about getting one foot on the board. And then after that, maybe try the other foot, do your back foot. And then once you can consistently do that with both feet, whichever one you choose, then try to fully commit and stomp down on the board. Now I will warn you, the scariest part about this is the board's doing a lot of stuff under your feet. You're going to land primo, which where the board lands sideways. You're going to land primo a lot. It's gonna happen. But you've got to fully commit to putting both feet on, or you're never gonna learn how to do this trick or any other trick after this. Commitment is key. Now, another big aspect of this trick that I've really tried to focus on my own skateboarding lately is my shoulder position. If you don't keep your shoulders over the skateboard, it's gonna go everywhere. You have to be consciously aware of where your shoulders and where your upper body is over the board, or you're never gonna learn any kind of advanced trick. It's not just what your feet or legs are doing, it's what your whole body is doing. And you've gotta keep your shoulders centered over the skateboard. So these have been my tips and tricks on the Fakie Tre flip. If you can follow all these steps, it's pretty straightforward. Just start by forming it, don't even worry about landing it, then move to one foot, then the other foot, and then try to put 2 feet on and go for a full commit. This trick, along with normal Tre flips, took me months to learn. I would land 1 or 2, and then I wouldn't land another one for like a week. It is a grueling process, but I know you can do it. Just keep trying, keep skating, and don't give up. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We're really close to 500 subscribers, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you like this video, hit that like button too, because it's gonna help me out. Thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.